And with your spirit. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Glory to you, O Lord. Jesus again in reply spoke to the chief priests and the elders of the people in parables, saying, "The kingdom of heaven may be likened to a king who gave a wedding feast for his son. He dispatched his servants to summon the invited guests to the feast, but they refused to come. A second time he sent other servants, saying, 'Tell those invited, behold, I have prepared my banquet. My calves and fattened cattle are killed, and everything is ready. Come to the feast.' Some ignored the invitation and went away, one to his farm, another to his business. The rest laid hold of his servants, mistreated them, and killed them. The king was enraged and sent his troops, destroyed those murderers, and burned their city. Then the king said to his servants, 'The feast is ready, but those who were invited were not worthy to come. Go out therefore into the main roads and invite to the feast whomever you find.' The servants went out into the streets and gathered all they found, bad and good alike, and the hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to meet the guests, he saw a man there not dressed in a wedding garment. He said to him, 'My friend, how is it that you came in here without a wedding garment?' But he was reduced to silence. Then the king said to his attendants, 'Bind his hands and feet and cast him into the darkness outside, where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth.' Many are invited, but few are chosen." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Good afternoon, everyone. In the Gospel yesterday, the Lord was showing us His generosity, the economy of His grace. And today we are contemplating His majesty, total majesty. The Lord in His being cannot tolerate indifference, nor can He tolerate that things that we take the things of God lightly, because God is light, God is truth. The gospel can also be an allegory of the story of salvation, that the prophets, the covenants, and the people of God responded to until the destruction of Jerusalem, and when the Lord sent His apostles to the nations. But the Gentiles also had to arrive at the celebration well dressed with their vestment of baptism. They also could not take the things of God lightly. God is God, and there is no other. In the first reading, we also contemplate that God is in control of everything. No, that God deserves everything. But how could this man contradict the law of God, that he prohibited a son, daughter, be a Holocaust in Holy Land? There is a rabbinic tradition that says that the daughter was not offered as sacrifice, but it's the first one who consecrated herself to God as a virgin. That is, without getting married, her life would be a symbol of consecration to God with all of her being, that she no longer pertained to her father, but a woman consecrated to God, like a living Holocaust, to remind us that we remind us that we don't belong only to God. And so every time that he encountered his daughter, we see that the victory is always God. Today we contemplate a saint, Saint John Eads, or in French, Saint Jean Eads, if I pronounced it well with my French accent. Saint John Eads was in the era of the two hearts. As a recently ordained priest, he realized that there's a great love in this life, and this love that we have to offer to God, all of our being, that is where we must become a living holocaust to God, is in the celebration of the Holy Mass. St. John wrote, there were missing 3 eternities to celebrate the Holy Mass. One eternity to prepare, one eternity to celebrate it, and one eternity to give thanks, because the Mass is the mystery of God amongst us. In the Holy Mass, contemplating the sacred mysteries, St. John also discovered the heart of Jesus, alive in the Eucharist, and also in his own priestly heart. And contemplating the heart of Christ in the Eucharist, he had a mystical interior interpretation. He wanted to live in this house, and he wanted to give all of his being and honor to the heart of Christ. And he had the perception that there is a heart, which is a living holocaust, that he gave glory and blessings to God. And in reality, to glorify God, we give him all of our being. And the one who did that par excellence is the Blessed Virgin Mary. He perceived that this love in her was so powerful that his heart would enter into the heart of Christ. And also, St. John also drew an image with the heart of Christ at the center, and with the Immaculate Heart of the Blessed Virgin Mary. So he wrote to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and both approved by the bishop. And what did he want to share with others, this great saint? He said, our desire, our objective must be to form Jesus in us and make our hearts
Toda nuestra vida religiosa debe tender a eso. Tal es la tarea que Dios nos ha confiado para que trabajemos en ella constantemente. Y en lugar de nosotros trabajemos en ella constantemente es la Santa Misa. Tal vez hoy podemos pedir la misma gracia que recibió este gran santo de los 2 corazones, este gran predicador de la consagración a la Virgen y devoción a la Eucaristía, que entrando en la Santa Misa podemos entrar con el corazón de la Santísima Virgen María, con esta holocausto virginal, donde nosotros podemos recibir el corazón de Cristo con ella y en ella. Y para que no solamente sea un dibujo lindo en la iglesia, no, que nuestros corazones sean este lugar, con el corazón de María en nosotros y el corazón de Jesús. Todo por el corazón de Jesús.
A través del corazón de María.